said, Q, you called it with Ram. Bro, it ain't hard to call, bro. It's not hard to call at all, bro. It really isn't. Shout out to the fam, man. Young City, Bronze Power Guard. Good to see your Bullet family travel vlog. Shout out to your fam. Good to see your brother Carlton. How you doing, sir? Appreciate you. Dana. Shout out to my queens out there as well. Much love to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all the support. What's up, DJ? Shout out to my boy DJ in the building as well. Brother Greg is in this thing as well. No OG action is no, they're not fired yet, brother. Not even close. But anyway, yes, we talked about this ad nauseum, man. We mentioned it. It's kind of late in the game. We knew Ryan Ramczyk's issues with his knee is bad. The minor surgery, when they did the minor surgery, I said that wasn't going to work. You can't, if you need major surgery, getting minor surgery is not going to help it. It's not going to heal right. It's not going, and that should have been told to him. And it should at some point come to the realization that somebody of a higher authority in the Saints building should speak to this man and let him know, listen, football is secondary to you walking for the rest of your life. We want to make sure you good. You see, somebody got to tell him and shut him, because ultimately if the Saints say, listen, we're going to have to kind of shut you down right here, brother, this is not going to work. Because, players, you got to protect the player from himself. He just going to want to play and tear himself up. You can't allow that to happen, because most people, not most people, but most athletes are trained that way. And I said trained, I use that purposefully. It's a mentality of, even if you hurt, you are trained to play through the pain if you can. That's the overall thought process in being a professional athlete, learning to play through the pain. And the thing about what Ramczyk is, I understand that Ramczyk's a tough guy. I got a lot of respect for Ramczyk. The problem is the injury has hurt, and I'm saying in terms, I'm not a medical doctor. I just play one on the internet. But listen, seriously, I've watched Ramczyk's film. I've watched his games. His play has sorely and terribly disintegrated. I mean, who Ramczyk was before the Saints paid him and who he is now is two different people. Two different people altogether. That knee issue has really just cut him in half, basically. Ram was a dominating force for the Saints before he got paid. And since he got paid the big money when he signed that contract, that knee issue has cut him down severely. And it's unfortunate, but it's a part of football. You made a lot of money, man. The Saints need to really focus on his health over him playing football. And with that being said, I've said that, and I'll continue to say it, that the Saints should have known to approach free agency with looking at finding somebody from a veteran perspective, to sit underneath Ramczyk or kind of steady the line. Now, they did sign Ali Udo, who operates mostly as a guard. But looking at it, I'm like, man, that means now with his knee issue, and Dennis Allen alluded to this, we covered it on our Patreon special about it not healing as fast as he would like it. We're going to cover it in this article. But yes, bro, we called it. We all was in here calling. I kept saying it, man. You got to protect these guys, man. And now we're in the second, deep into the second layers of free agency. And we're looking at the free agency chart of who's available. And a lot of the guys that could have helped the Saints are off the board. Now, they still have some people there, but that is the purpose of moving and finding the correct fits. Not everybody was getting broke off or chipped off big dough. There's a guy out there that could have came in and kind of steadied the position. Now it looks like that we're kind of positioning ourselves to get ready for the draft. That's exactly what we're doing. That is the posture of the team, is that they're focused on the draft now. So it is what it is, but you got to protect these players from themselves, man. And like I said, Ramczyk's play suffered mightily since that knee issue. It has cut him down to almost nothing. I'm not saying that he's, Yeah, but from what Ram came from and what we remember Ramczyk being when the Saints drafted him, man, it's just it's so sad to me. Like, because you can see it's ailing to the point where he's not even close to what he was. And when Teron Armstead left, the idea was to slide Ram from right tackle to left tackle. The only reason why he was over there is because Teron Armstead was better than him for years. But as Teron left and he went to Miami, the move should have been made to move him over there. But they didn't. They kept him at right tackle. And at the time I was saying that don't make any sense. Y'all remember we had this discussion ad nauseum. We talked about it dozens of times. And I would put on shows and talk about why is Trevor Penning playing left tackle? You don't put that guy, a rookie ass offensive lineman. And we know Penning, has some talent, but it's a difference between Orlando Pace, a Jonathan. I'm talking about guys coming out of college. You know what they are. Like, when that guy steps out there, he's going to dominate. That wasn't Penning. You see Orlando Pace coming. You see the arrival of guys like Willie Rofe. And I'm throwing out some really good players, Jonathan Ogden's, the Tony Busellis, guys like that. You see them come. You see them arriving out of college into the NFL. You see who they are and what they could be. And now, like, with this current crop of people, you can see the ones that's really going to step up and ball. You see Joe Alt. You see Fashanu. You see guys like that. Even to a degree, you can see it in J.C. Latham, who played opposite end, but you can see him operating at that tackle position. It's a it factor. You see that. You see the behavior in these guys. It's a rhythm. It's a pattern to players that you can see that they can do that. I didn't see that in Penning. I thought Penning would operate as a good right tackle because that's where you want to put him, on the right side. But a blind side tackle, that's a special position. That's reserved for your best offensive lineman in most cases, because he will be tasked with the duty of protecting the blind side of your quarterback. But they did not move Ram when Teron left, and I feel like, what is that about? So you're going to trust the quarterback, your veteran quarterback, to a rookie? Look how that turned out. Tell me how that turned out for you. Huh? And it's very crazy. But at the end of the day, now you need two of them. You need two now. You need a right tackle and you need a left tackle. So let's delve into it, man. It's, Ram, it's unfortunate with Ram because Ram was a stellar player, but I'm more concerned about Ramczyk's health. Like our head coach supposed to be concerned about the health of this guy. Not he getting minor surgery wasn't going to cut it. Everybody knew he needed major surgery, but he didn't want to get it because he wanted to maintain playing football. And sometimes that's not in the cards. Go handle your business and come back. New Orleans Saints reportedly concerned about Ryan Ramczyk's status for the 2024 season following knee surgery this offseason. NFL insider Ian Rappaport shared on Tuesday that the team is worried about Saints starting right tackle may miss the season. Fam, we knew this. We talked about this. Minor surgery, man need major surgery. Getting minor surgery is not going to accomplish it. The Saints are preparing for the real possibility that offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk is medically not able to play this season. And Coach Dennis Allen alluded to Ramczyk's knee not responding as they hoped. It is unclear whether it will, a true question mark. Not a true question mark to me. Ram should have been shut down during the season, to be honest with you, because every chance they gave him, he was always given rest days. And that knee is not getting any better. But like I said, to kind of jump back to the initial point that I was talking about just a few minutes ago, we talked about how you can look at Ramczyk's play and see it is obviously different. He is not nearly the force that he once was. They got guys that march Ramczyk backwards, like he wearing a pair of skates. It's sad because he simply can't do the job no more, and he needs to be He needs to go and take care of his business medically, man. And of course, Saints head coach Dennis Allen told reporters at the annual league meetings on Tuesday that Ramczyk's availability remains to be seen. He said that he was feeling better about his tackle's recovery a few weeks ago. The injury that required surgery sidelined him for 5 games during the 2023 season. A few weeks ago, I was feeling a lot better about it, and yet I don't know that I'm seeing as much progress as I was hoping to see at this point. We've got plenty of time. We're just going to have to wait and see how that all goes as we go through all the off season, as we get in the training camp aspect. There's a long time before we kick the ball off. I wouldn't jump to any conclusions right now, but we'll see how it goes over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is, before we get to the season. Now, listen, the reality is, if you're the New Orleans Saints, you can't afford to wait 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks for the season. You got a plan for right now. You have to cover all bases. You have to come at this thing like Ramczyk won't be able to play. If he plays, fine. If he doesn't, you have to have a plan in place to replace him. And don't forget you need a left tackle. So basically, the Saints will be tasked with bookend tackle situations. And we're severely into the second round of the free agent cycle, where a lot of these other guys, these starters that had some meaningful minutes, are off the board. Now, they do have some veterans out there. But once again, the situation is also with the Saints and how much money do they want to spend. Right now, the Saints are not really doing the spend the money thing, which is, Mickey Loomis alluded to that. Dennis Allen alluded to that. Even Dennis Lucia was mentioning that as well. So at some point, how do you address the situation? Well, the cheapest route you could take, it will be free agents. The draft, excuse me. Now you could, go into the draft, and right now, according to Over Cap, the Saints have roughly just over $8.3 million. If people asking you what's the cap like right now, 8.3 mil currently, according to Over the Cap. But you have to approach this situation like Ramczyk is not going to be available. Now, if he's available, that's great. But, chances are he's not. Minor surgery is not going to cut it if you need major surgery, bro. That's not going to work. So going into it, they'll have to figure out some kind of way to adjust to Ram's potential lossage, him not being there. And some options are what do the Saints look like? What are they going to do? Now, we know the Saints signed some people defensively. We know about the Chase Young thing. We know about Willie Gay. We know about them bringing in a few guys on defense back, like Jonathan Abrams. Shout out to him. Udo of, our guy, bringing him back. Who else was signed? What's your boy name? The little undersized DB who I like a lot. He's back. But another thing is they added a few wide receivers to the Saints side of the offense. But I'm really more interested in the offensive line that they bring. They did bring Ali Udo, who operates mostly as guard, and they saying he could play some tackle. But I'm looking at these tackle positions. Who's in line for these tackle positions? Who are we going to realistically look at? We're looking at the draft. What does our roster look like? Well, you do have Trevor Penning. He's there. And at some point, Penning will have to play. He's a first-round draft pick. Either you're going to trade him or play him. And right now, I think the Saints, they're going to have to find a usage for Trevor Penning. In the guard situation, you bring in Ali Udo. He looking to possibly challenge for the left guard position against guys like James Hurst. Where does Nick Saldiveri fit in this? So there's going to be some interesting battles in terms of camp of who occupies some of these positions. A lot of people thinking that Penning should be converted to a guard. Well, we're looking at all of the guards that the Saints have. Hurst, Udo, and Nick Saldiveri look like, you kind of got a cluttered situation here. But we need more tackles. You see? So right tackle position, if Ram's not good to go, Trevor Penning should be the next guy in there, unless the Saints add a veteran or they do something else. You got to justify the pick. You can't have a first round draft pick offensive lineman and you need tackles. Well, he's a tackle, and you got tackles. Ramczyk is hurting. You can't. You got to justify the pick. You got to be able to bring this guy to the forefront. So do you then utilize him at the right tackle position, the position that I thought he should have been starting at when he came into the league, not at the left tackle position? That's a special breed. Right tackle, he possibly can play that position. There's not as much pressure on him to play the right than it is the left. It's a difference. But the left tackle position, is that somebody they go to the draft for? I mean, a lot of these questions we're gonna have to wait and see what's going on right with that. So that's a very concerned. But listen, shout out to Ryan Ramczyk, man, and his family, man. I know the man loves the game of football, but listen, bro, I know something that's more important than playing football. That's walking straight, walking and handling your business. You're still young. Go take care of yourself, man. Go take care of yourself, bro. And I'm telling you this straight up, man. As a former athlete, man, don't put money or football over your health, bro. You'll regret it. So